Amber shows why son won't stop talking about Babysitter. He had been talking about her to anyone that would listen all week long. His mom knew that he was being serious when he handed her the note. He wasn't going to take no for an answer. He was set on asking the girl to prom. But the reason why he wanted to ask her would tug at the heartstrings of many. Not many people dream of adopting children, but Alyssa Rogers and her husband were certain that that was what they wanted to do. From the second she locked eyes with Curtis, she knew she wanted him to be part of her family. There was something about him that just pulled her in. As Curtis got older and became a vibrant young man, Alyssa couldn't help but wonder if his personality stemmed from their parenting or if it was all part of an astounding, natural blessing. But when she got a full-time job and couldn't stay home with him after school anymore, she had to make a monumental change to both their lives. She was not looking forward to this change. She didn't want to be separated from her son, but she had to. So, they had to get a nanny. It took them a while to find the perfect nanny, but eventually they found a decent match for Curtis. Her name was Rachel. Every day, Rachel would get Curtis from school, take him to his piano lessons, and then take him back home where she would do his homework with him. Curtis's puppy love for Rachel made Alyssa smile. Rachel was a beautiful, blonde high school student, and her smile was as bright as the sun. Curtis was always talking about Rachel, but after a year, something changed. His bright smile whenever he would talk about Rachel had now turned into a sad pout. When Alyssa asked Curtis why he was sad, he responded, Rachel's prom. What he told Alyssa next added a weight to her chest. He wanted to take Rachel to prom, but she couldn't take him with her. He had been trying to come up with a way to make it happen for weeks, but there didn't seem to be any solution. Alyssa could tell how sad it made Curtis, it made her sad seeing him so down. She tried to help by suggesting, why don't you get her a corsage? Curtis thought about the lovely gesture, and it was like a light bulb went off in his head. He suddenly jumped up and grabbed a piece of paper and a pen. After disappearing into his room for an hour, he returned to his mom and explained his plan. Alyssa scanned her eyes over his list of demands before looking back at him. She had to lend a helping hand, there was no question about it. But first, she had to set up her camera. After days of preparation, Curtis pulled out the large sign and hopped into his mom's van. He couldn't contain his excitement. His surprise for Rachel was simple. Curtis waited outside of her school until she came out. He quickly jumped up and waved his arms frantically to get her attention. When she locked eyes with him, he quickly held his sign high above his head. Her reaction was exactly what he had hoped it would be. But what had he planned? When Rachel told him that prom was cancelled because of the pandemic, he felt as sad as she did. His sign read, will you go to prom with me? But wait, there was more. It wasn't just a heartfelt invitation. Alyssa's precious boy had gone as far as to pick out a nice suit, ask her to put on the dress she had planned on wearing and come to their house. That was phase 1. Phase 2 was even better. With the help of his parents, Curtis set up a long table in the backyard and arranged a dinner with all his nanny's favorite food. Next was dancing. And even with social distancing, Alyssa little man had conquered the separation with flying colors. He had carefully measured and laid down string that morning and got a pool tube that was the right length. He beamed a huge smile at Rachel, pressed play on his iPad and streamed music he knew she would like. All they had to do was bougie while holding the foam noodle. Alyssa and her husband held the camera and filed the entire thing. It felt like their hearts were going to explode from happiness. But what would the world think? After their prom ended and Rachel left for home looking as bright as a summer's day, Alyssa quickly posted the event on social media. It was no surprise that people would love the adorable gesture, but she had no idea it would go insanely viral, even reaching news outlets. Alyssa felt the same thing she had felt on the first day she had seen Curtis as a baby. She knew he was special. His heartfelt act just reinforced how amazing he really was. And he certainly set the bar much higher for every boy on the face of the earth. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe for more.